Okay, so this is going to be viewer questions video. And so we're going to talk about Russia, China, Australia, and George Bush Sr.'s funeral. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I'm Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. Come with. So yeah, viewers have chimed in and said, I want to know about this. Linda Jo, thank you very much. Maria Maney, thank you very much. And also Bobby Gentilicore, or Gentilicore, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, Bobby, but thank you very much. So we're going to talk about, Linda Jo says, will the passing of Gorbachev remind the Russian people of the possibilities of government working with cooperation in the world? And that's a great question, Linda Jo, thank you. And then Maria Maney says, China versus Australia, trade improve, or is there a war looming? And then finally, Bobby Gentilicore, I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I hope I've done okay, Bobby. And you say, please read on the notes the First Ladies had in the prayer book at Bush Sr.'s funeral, which I didn't know they had notes, and I've been waiting on this because I've been trying to find out, is this actually a thing? So we'll draw the cards. Hope you like it. Okay, so here we go. This will be thanks to Linda Jo, who asked about Gorbachev and will possibilities of government working with cooperation with the world. Will Gorbachev's passing remind the Russians of that? Maria Maney, China versus Australia, will trade improve, or is war looming? And then Bobby Gentilicore, please read on the notes the First Ladies had in the prayer book at Bush Sr.'s funeral. So we'll see about all of that. The Linda Jo always has good questions, thanks. But that is pretty good. I mean, Gorbachev really brought Russia in from the cold, but unfortunately, then the Soviet Union collapsed, and all kinds of things happened that weren't that great. Gorbachev was able to have a good life, in in the end, and with his wife. So, will his passing remind Russia that it's good to cooperate in the world? I wonder. So this is worth a full Celtic cross, I think. But before we do anything, let's have a moment of meditation. Okay. Gorbachev's passing will remind Russia of some humanity they can have. For me, I believe what's happened is the Russian people are just brainwashed. But will his passing create some sort of an awakening for the Russian people that'll make a difference? 6 cards to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Will Gorbachev's passing make those Russian folks feel like getting along with the rest of the world? I'm not hopeful. So, the signifier card for that, Linda Jo. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is better than I thought. So it's just that, is that anything can happen. The good thing about this is that I always like to feel like the Wheel of Fortune is moving in a positive direction. And so we've got that. It's kind of up in the air. That's the signifier of that question. The challenge to it is, look at this, the Ten of Cups. Cups are emotion, compassion. The Ten of Cups is like happy family almost. It's really wishes fulfilled. And so the challenge to this Wheel of Fortune as to whether Gorbachev's passing will make Russians open their eyes to cooperating with the world has to do with, the challenge to it is emotional well-being in a generational fashion. Interesting. The base of this reading then with the emperor, well, this is Russia itself, so, but it's an angry emperor. This isn't a happy sort of emperor that you see here. So the basis of this whole thing is that stern, you'll do things my way. That is what Russia is today. And then the past of this with this Five of Pentacles, Pentacles being value, worth, and the Five of Pentacles left out in the cold. So the past of this, and we're talking about, let me remind the question, is Gorbachev went, and do we want to think, will the Russian people realize it's better to work with the world, really? And the past of that question is being left out in the cold. So perhaps the Russian people feel like they've been made to feel like the world has left them out in the cold in the past. The sky of this reading then, is the devil. Well, of course it is, because that's the government that's going on in Russia. It's the most you can hope for. I mean, there have been a generation and a half, maybe 2 generations that are wrapped up in this, in their big lie. The likely outcome of this for that question, whether Gorbachev's passing will wake them up, is the High Priestess. And this is hopeful because the High Priestess is, it is the second person that the Fool meets on their journey. So it's the beginning of a journey. But the High Priestess brings with her, knowledge, really knowing the secrets of the universe almost. So let's do 4 more cards to finish out Celtic Cross here and see if they lend some light on that. So the first card, so the very self of that question, will his passing make the Russian people see, let's cooperate with the world, is this 4 of Cups, well, being offered something, some emotional, compassionate energy that you're not ready to accept, that you really don't want. So I don't think they're really there. But what environment is that in? That is in the environment of the Page of Swords. Swords of truth, justice, rules, and law. The Page is the weakest of the court cards. It's a messenger. He's bringing a suggestion to the court. Let's use this truth and justice and the rules of law here. But I'm just a lowly page. I'm just an idea. I'm just a thought. So this being offered something that you don't particularly want is in the environment of, being an immature idea. The hopes and the fears for that, will Gorbachev's death wake up Russia, is the Magician. Well, this tells you that you've got all the tools that are necessary to get a thing done. So everything's there if someone can become that magician and make it happen. Let's put him under there like that. And then the final outcome as to whether Gorbachev's death makes the difference is 6 of Wands. This is very interesting. Wands are actions, plans, forward movement, and the 6 of Wands are celebrations. So it's a very good outcome in both parts of this. First part, again, will Gorbachev's death make a difference? We start out with it's a Wheel of Fortune. Happy family is the challenge to it. The basis of the whole thing is the Emperor, which is the hardline Russia that exists now. In the past is having been left out in the cold. Your value has, I'm going to sneeze here. I sneezed. Very worthy. And then the sky of this with the devil is, that's the best that you can hope for with the government that you've got. But you would think so. However, the Empress is giving us lots of knowledge, lots of hope, and being seen of the future. But the very self of that question is, will his death make a difference? Is really being offered something you don't particularly want in the environment of, it's just a message, truth, justice, rules, law. It's just an idea. And the hopes and the fears of that is they find all the tools in a magical way to make it happen. And then it looks like if that gets accomplished, then yeah, this can lead to a victory of actions, of motions in that direction. But I think still there's a lot of ifs in there too, and I don't think it's a quick thing that's going to happen right away. So governments move at a snail's pace, except when they fall. So that's interesting because they do move at a snail's pace, except when they fall. Of course, the process of falling, we're caught up in the end result, and so maybe that falling process really is a lot longer than you would think. It's just like an iceberg. You don't see it all. You see the magnificent part of the fall at the very top. So thanks, Linda Jo. That next question was for Maria Maney. China versus Australia. Will trade improve, or is war looming? China versus the Aussies. Trade improve, war looming. This will be a dyadic cross. 6 cards. Okay, so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Trade improve, or is war looming? Australia and China. Signifier card. 7 of Swords, theft and betrayal. Swords of truth, justice, rules, and law. And so this, the signifier of this is theft and betrayal. I'm sorry, this is on the part of China, if you ask me. That's the signifier of this: will trade improve, or is war looming? Theft and betrayal. Challenge to it. Secrets being revealed is the challenge to this theft and betrayal. So China's bad deeds are challenged by secrets coming out. And then the base of that then is the Hermit, which is finding your way. And so, the old man, the experienced old man, he's got an action in his hand to help move along that path. And he's got a light to show him the way, but it's going to be a slow, but it can be done. So the past of that, again, I love when the cards repeat. So this is the Magician, but it's in the past here. So will there be war, or will trade improve? And the Magician, with all those tools available, is in the past. So it doesn't look like there's that many choices that are currently in the picture. In the sky of this reading, look at that. Cards repeating again. 10 of Cups, a happy family. In the sky of this, what you're aiming for is that generational, familial, emotional value to carry both countries into the future. And the likely outcome as to whether there'll be war or trade improve is the Queen of Cups, compassion. So nothing in here tells me that war is looming. Everything in here tells me that there's hope in the future. So I would say war doesn't look likely, but hope in the area of trade does. Okay. So I love it when the readings are hopeful, when things do look better. And sadly, though, along those lines, usually it's the money that drives all that. In this case, I don't think there's much of a monetary profit in war for the Chinese, and so they wouldn't go there, I think. The last question then, Bobby Gentilcore. I know I'm pronouncing your name wrong, and I'm sorry. The notes the First Ladies had, the prayer books at Bush Sr.'s funeral. And I've got to tell you, Bobby, I couldn't believe that there were notes in their prayer books. And then I did happen upon a video, and I don't remember the website, that actually showed not just the First Ladies. In most cases, it was the First Ladies that opened the note or that picked it up, but there was one case where, and it's interesting because that note was George W. Bush, the junior Bush, looked like a note came to him, and that, or was it him? No, it was Biden. May have been Biden, and Jill picked it up. I'm not sure, but there were notes. So we'll do a reading on that. So what about those notes that they seem to get? Start out with 6 cards and see where that takes us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there were notes. I'm not sure that they were directed at just the First Ladies. So, signifier card. Look at that, repeating again. It always means to me that the cards are in the game with us. 78 cards for the cards to repeat is pretty interesting. The signifier card, that is finding the way. Okay, so notes could have been significant in the area of moving something forward, finding a path forward for someone. The challenge to that, the 7 of Cups is illusion and delusion. So illusion, delusion, it's a compassionate card, it's an emotional card, and it tells us that there are a lot of choices to be made with this being the challenge to finding that path. So there's so many paths so many ways you could go. That's the challenge. But why? What? How does this note significant? Is this the message that the note portrayed? Be careful finding the way. There's a lot of choices to make. The base of this, look at this, another repeated card. So the magician, the base of this is that there is a magic in having the knowledge that all the tools that are available to you. And then the past of this with the chariot in the past just reminds us that things are moving along at a pace that we're not likely to be able to stop. In this chariot card, as in many of them, it does show that the charioteer has the task of getting that team working together. So, this could be something in the note alluding to, in the past, we've had to get this team working together. In the sky, that reading for that note, the Queen of Swords, truth, justice, rules, and law. And the Queen of Swords is who you would want to have as a focus in some sort of a message like that. The Queen of truth, justice, rules, and law. Maybe it was directed at the women. Because Bush Sr. really, Barbara Bush, I think, was his guiding light in a lot of ways. Not that he wasn't completely an independent man, an independent president. And then the likely outcome of this is to, what about those notes for the first ladies, Bobby says, and it's the sun shining a light. So I think this was some sort of compassionate message in those that were delivered to those people. Remember, this man knew that he was ill for a long time. He had and he knew who would be at his funeral. He had plenty of time to orchestrate something, to make something personal, to put his stamp on this. And when you're at death's door for as long as he lost his wife, and he knew what was coming for him. Maybe that was the thing that he felt could be some sort of if not a legacy, a help. If you had knowledge of your pending doom for that long, wouldn't you want to try to get your message out, especially if you had the reach that he does? So about the note for the first ladies, it is about finding a way. It is about the choices that have to be made. It is about the fact that there's so many tools that can be used. It's about working in unison. It's about women have that power of truth, justice, rules, and law, and the sun can shine down on those sort of efforts. I think it was and I think it was from George Bush himself, Sr. That's what I think. So, but what do I know? Well, those were our readings for today. I hope you enjoyed them. They never turn out the way I think they would, and I think that's probably a good thing. So let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd like me to read on, or just tell me what's going on in your life. I like that too. So thank you very much. Hey, I'm going to show you the cards now. Hang on. So this is Llewellyn's Classic Tarot, book by Barbara Moore and illustrations by Eugene Smith. Love the box that this comes in. It's got that neat magnetic clasp on there that I'm just a sucker for. The book is very good. I mean, it's a full color book. It's got very good suggestions for how you can use these cards in the divination. And then it talks a little bit in here also about Barbara Moore, Eugene Smith. So I like the book. The cards, I mean, everything about this works. You've got a little ribbon to help you pull the book out, and then it does double duty to help you get the cards out. And let me show you those. Now, if I understand correctly, the idea that Llewellyn had is that this is the Rider-Waite system, but it is a clearer, less cluttered images for the divination of the cards. So that's apparently was his remit to the illustrator or the artist, Eugene Smith. I'll let you spread them out like this so you can get a chance to, just look at the cards if you don't look at cards a lot, or maybe if you're thinking about buying some cards and you're thinking about these, you run across this and this gives you an idea if you'd like to have them. I don't know. I just like to spread them out this way. It's an alternative way of shuffling them, and it works really well if you're doing a reading and you have someone who might not feel comfortable shuffling the cards, but at least you can kind of get their energy into the cards this way. So this is Classic Tarot, and I like them a lot. Well, I'm Mark. This has been My Journey Through Tarot. I'll be doing it again tomorrow if you want to go, so stop on by. Ciao for now.
1, 2, 3.
You really make a big difference. Thank you.